Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap with my opinion on Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 13. It's titled Poppin' the Questions. And spoiler alert, I love spoiler alerts. I like to know what's happening. I heard that everyone said yes on decision day except for Jasmina and Michael. Okay? Spoiler alert. Let's get started. First couple is Elijah Wan and Katina. They go grocery shopping, and they go grocery shopping in a little market instead of going to a nice big grocery store where you can get everything and things are probably cheaper. They go to this little market store. Anywho, neither of them know how to cook or shop for groceries. They don't know. And poor Katina, she wants sex so bad, she picks up fudge and asks Elijah Wan if he wants some hot fudge. No, he doesn't. He's not into that. He don't want none of that from you. Not right now anyway. So they claim. So he plays around with her and kids around with her about her cooking. Well, he really knows he's really not playing. But somebody must have talked to him. The producers probably talked to him and told him to quit being so mean to her. So that's why he's not being mean to her anymore. But he can't cook anyway. He can't cook and she can't cook. And they both look lost in this grocery store. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to buy. They're just picking up anything that they think they like. So in the next scene, Katina meets up with the pastor. They talk about the dating app incident. The pastor wants her to dig into Elijah Wan's past to find out why he yells and screams and disrespects her, which is ridiculous. Okay, so what if he had some type of trauma in his life growing up? So what if he had some type of trauma in his life while he was growing up? What's the big deal? What does that have to do with him yelling at her? Is that gonna, if she finds out that he has some type of trauma in his life growing up, is that gonna prevent him from yelling and screaming at her? No. So why should she dig in his past and try to find out what happened in his past? No. We're talking about the future right now. He knows how to treat somebody. He knows when he's being mean, nasty, rude. He's an adult. She's an adult. You know when you're not being nice. She's supposed to dig into his past and find out what traumatize him to make him the way he is. Who cares? That's not going to stop him from yelling at her. That doesn't solve anything. That pastor needs to go sit down someplace. I know one thing. If you allow people to treat you like crap, then they're going to treat you like crap. And she's allowing him to do it. My advice to Katina is to sit Elijah Wan down, look him in those bulging frog eyes of his, and tell him, don't you ever scream and yell at me and disrespect me again. And let him know you're not going to have that. You're not putting up with that crap. That's what she needs to do. Because he's going to keep on treating her like crap if she allows him to do it. Then the pastor asks Katina about their intimacy. And Katina claims the reason they're not having intimacy is because they want to make sure they're in love first before they do anything. And that's not true. She's already in love with him. He's the one that doesn't want to have sex with her. He's the one that he told us in front of her and the pastor that he doesn't want to do anything until they get to know each other better. I think that's what he had told the pastor. I think it was when they came home from their honeymoon. And then she claims that she doesn't want them to fall, they don't want them to have that dizzy feeling. And she claims that the dizzy feeling is being in lust instead of being in love. But she already told us she loved him. He's the one that's holding back. He said he is the one holding back. He's the reason why they're not having sex. But I don't know why he tries to pretend that they're having sex. A couple of times he throws the camera out and shuts the door in their face like they're getting ready to do something. So I don't know why he's pretending, but then he's telling us that they're not having sex. And he's the one holding back. Now, I don't know if they're having sex or not, but I thought of 3 reasons why I think he's not having sex with Katina. I think it's his way of being in control. By telling her, no, I don't want to have sex yet. That's his way of controlling her. That's one reason why I think he's not having sex with her. Second reason why I think he may not be having sex with her is because he probably never had sex with a black woman before. He doesn't date black women, so he probably never had sex with a black woman before. He's scared. He don't know what it is. He don't know what's going to happen. He's terrified. He don't know. He don't know. He's scared. The third reason is maybe he's not as good as he's trying to act. Maybe his sex is whack. Maybe he's been told before that he doesn't satisfy women. Maybe he's just not good in bed. He's trying to pretend like he is, but he's just not good in bed. And he's afraid that if he has sex with her and he's not good, then she'll look her nose down at him and the position of control will change, Maybe that, I don't know. But him saying he doesn't want to have sex with her until he gets to know her better, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. There's a reason. So the next scene is Elijah meets up with the doctor, and the doctor asks what improvement would he want that would make the marriage better. Elijah said that sometimes when he's talking to Katina, she says what she thinks she thinks he wants to hear. She doesn't say what she thinks. He's always saying what she thinks he wants her to say. She doesn't, say her own mind. And of course she does that. She doesn't want to piss him off. So she's always trying to agree with everything he says and saying what he wants to hear because she's afraid of pissing him off. So he tells the doctor about the dating app incident. And the doctor told him that she heard what happened. And she's concerned about how he talks down to Katina. And he told the doctor, I don't talk down to her. And then the doctor asked him if he apologized to Katina. And he said yes. We didn't see it. We saw her apologizing to him. But we didn't see him apologizing to her. Anywho, the doctor told him that she heard that he told Katina basically that she wasn't woman enough for him. And he got angry with the doctor and goes off on her. And this is when I can tell you this, that now that I've figured it out, Elijah has no respect for women. He's treating the doctor like crap. He treats Katina like crap. He treated Lindsay like crap. He sleeps with mother and daughter in the same day. That's treating them like with no respect. And I haven't seen him treat a man bad yet. I haven't seen him disrespect a man yet. So my conclusion about Elijah is Elijah hates women. That's what I think. He hates women. He treats women like crap. So that's the only way the only, conclusion I can come to is that Elijah hates women. That's the end of Elijah and Katina. Next is Mark and Lindsay. They are in their apartment and they're arguing. Every time we see them now, they're arguing. Lindsay's asking him for consistency. And I wish she would explain to him exactly what she means by that. Because she keeps repeating it and he acts like he doesn't know what he's talking about. And that's getting her nowhere. Mark says he wants healthy communication. That means he doesn't want her yelling at him. And when she gets mad, she goes for the gut. She goes for the throat. She goes for the throat. Yeah, she hits below the belt. When she gets mad at him, she hits below the belt. And I don't blame her. If you piss her off, then yeah, hit below the belt. Let him know you're serious and you're not playing with him. That's what Katina needs to do. My advice to Mark is to stop picking fights with her, and then she won't hit you below the belt. He needs to say this over and over in his mind. Happy wife, happy life. Matter of fact, he needs to write it 50 times. Happy wife, happy life. And just when I told Lindsay to lay it on the line for him, she does exactly that. She tells him that he's not consistent. And he has proven that time and time again that he's not consistent. She says he ignores her, and he does. We're going to see that later on in the episode. She said he gives affection and then he pulls it back. We saw that on their honeymoon. They had sex 4 times that day, and at dinner he says, oh, I don't want to be lovey-dovey anymore. I want to pull back. Yeah, exactly. He wants to pull back. He's not consistent. She says he texts everybody, but he doesn't text her. He ignores her. And he put other people before her. Everybody's more important to him, than her. She told him that she doesn't feel like he respects her. He does not respect her. He does not respect her. We've seen that time and time and time again. She said she doesn't feel like he values her, which he doesn't. He doesn't. She said she doesn't feel like he cares for her, and we know he doesn't. She said she doesn't feel like he shows up for her, and I agree with everything she's saying. Next scene, Mark sits down with the pastor, and the pastor, the first thing he does is he bashes Lindsay. He says, yeah, I know she's over the top, or some nonsense like that, he says. Why? Why do you say that? Why would you say that? That's the first thing out of his mouth. He's giving Mark more ammunition to use on Lindsay. He's helping him to be more justified with how he treats Lindsay. Why would a pastor do that? Why? Then the pastor tells Mark that his mother and father arguing is the same as the way Lindsay argues. Why would you say that? What do you know about his parents? And then you could tell Mark didn't agree with it. He goes, I think so. He didn't agree with that. And then the pastor knows he's barking up the wrong tree, so he changed tactics and says, show Lindsay that you are in it, and she'll feel more secure, is what he says to Mark. You need to tell him, pastor, to write 50 times, I will be a better husband to my wife. That's what he needs to do. Okay, so Lindsay meets with the doctor. She meets up with the doctor, and Lindsay tells her that Mark gives more attention to others than he does her, which is true. The doctor told her to tell him, but say it in a way that doesn't sound like she's criticizing him. So Lindsay starts to cry. She said she feels sad all the time. And you know what? The men on this show, they're just not up to par. They're not up to par. Mark is selfish in bed, and he shows her no affection. Jasmina has no physical attraction for Mike. Steve is a deadbeat who won't get a job. And Elijah one hates women. What's a girl to do? Well, I didn't say anything bad about Michael. But Michael, him and Jasmina, they're not a good fit. I watched other people's video, and from the get-go, they kept saying that Katina is not attracted to him. Katina is not attracted to him. And I'm starting to believe that now. She's not attracted to him. She doesn't want him. Nope. Anyway, Lindsay talks about how her mother never showed her love, and it affected her. She said she says her anger comes from sadness. So the doctor's advice to her was to be kind and positive and soften her approach when it comes to Mark and ask him questions instead of accusing him. And the doctor gave her some good advice. Basically, you catch more bees with honey. Next scene, Mark and Lindsay, they're in the apartment and they're eating chicken, and the chicken looked like it's not cooked. Looked like it's not cooked all the way. And he tells Lindsay that the pastor was comparing their relationship to his parents, and he got emotional. And he allowed her to touch his hand this time. Go figure. He probably wanted to pull away, but decided, okay, I'm not gonna pull away. So he asked her, why does she get down and dirty when she gets angry with him? She tells him that when she is hurt, she doesn't know how to explain to him that she's hurt. So they plan on working on their communication. So she asked him the questions the doctor told her to ask him. I'm not going to go into that. And at the end, they had a good talk and they hugged. And she initiated the hug, not him. He gives her no affection, none whatsoever. Next is Noy and Steve. My goodness. Okay, Noy meets with the pastor. He basically tells her that putting things on social media is not a good idea. And it's not a good idea, but I like the way she does it. I mean, she doesn't put on social media, she doesn't put, my husband is a lazy asshole and he doesn't want to work. All he wants to do is sit around and bitch about pasta. She doesn't put that. That's what I would put, but she doesn't put that. She puts, if you think you deserve better, then you do. That's what she puts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fine with that. She didn't address it to anybody. She didn't, say my husband or nothing like that. So I like the way she did that. The pastor asked her what are her concerns. What are you asking her that for? You know what her concerns are, because I know y'all are watching. And she flat out wants to know if Steve can get a job. And then when she said that, do you know what the pastor did? The pastor laughed. He laughed. And why do you think that pastor laughed? That pastor laughed because he knew that putting an unemployed man, my alarm's going off, sorry. Putting an unemployed man with a woman that's from a refugee camp who came up in poverty and is traumatized by it was good for TV. That's why they cast Steve in this episode. There was a shitload of applicants that applied to this show. Why did they choose an unemployed man? Why? Because they want drama. So the pastor tells her he understands that she needs that security. And then she needs to ask Steve if he can give her financial security. So Steve meets up with the doctor. And he tells her the main issue is her posting on social media. That's his main issue with her posting on social media. No. The main issue, Steve, is you not getting a job. That's the main issue, okay? Anyway, the doctor told him the reason Noy goes to social media is because she doesn't feel like she can talk to him. True. 100% true. I agree with that. Demonstration. Let me show you. This is the issue right here. And this is Steve. He goes around the issue constantly. That's how he communicates. He goes around the issue. He never ever talk about what's actually the problem. So the doctor gets real with him. While he's talking about the main issue is her posting on social media, the doctor tells him that Noy has a fear of him not getting a job. And Steve clams up. He takes a sip of his drink. Can't say nothing. You know what? You know why? He can't say anything. He can't talk around the subject with the doctor because that's a doctor. She has experience. She's older. She sees right through you, Steve. So he shuts up, says nothing. But then she doesn't tell him to get a job, which I think she should have done. Instead, she tells him to show Noi that he can give her financial security. But the problem is, Noi's idea of financial security and Steve's idea of financial security is two different things. To Noi, financial security is a full-time job with benefits. To Steve, financial security is getting money whenever he needs it. Two different things. So when she tells him that, that's not helping. She also tells him to tell Noi to talk to him instead of posting things on social media. The problem with that is she can't talk to him. He doesn't want to hear her. He just wants to hear himself. And we'll see that later in the episode. Steve only cares about what he thinks and what he wants. That's all he cares about. So Steve tries to get sympathy from the doctor by saying he feels that he's being taken advantage of. And he says that because he has to do all the work. But she's working. She is working. You're not. So why can't you cook the meals, sweep the floor, mop the floor, make the beds? Why can't you do do work in the house while she's working? He says he thinks he's being taken advantage of. He just wants to sit around and do nothing. I told him, man is lazy. Like last episode when he told her, you clean one bathroom and I clean one bathroom. I don't know what her schedule is, but let's say her schedule is Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, what is he doing? Why is he not cleaning the bathrooms? Why is he waiting until Saturday, her day off, to have help to clean the bathroom? Why? Clean the damn bathroom, Steve, from Monday to Friday. You waited, you mean to me you waited for the weekend so you can get help to clean the bathroom? Come on. I told you that man is lazy. He doesn't want to work and he doesn't want to do all the household chores by himself. Lazy. Okay, so where was I? He said that he thinks he's being taken advantage of. And he says he says getting a job is not his vision that he saw for himself. So he does not want to work. Does not want to work at all. And I think they cut a clip because she didn't respond to that. The next thing she said was she went back to telling him he needs to calm Noi's fears. And she didn't respond to him saying that he feels like he's being taken advantage of. Anyway, Steve is a piece of work, and I just can't with him. The next scene is both Steve and Noi. They're back in the apartment, and Steve brings up her posting on social media. And Noi tells him that what she posted is how she felt. And then I love what she tells him. She told him, I understand that you are upset about the post. And the pastor said I shouldn't do that. But it's my social media and I have the choice to post when and what I want to post. Deal with that. She didn't say deal with that, but I like it when she told him that. It's her social media. She said, I understand you're upset. Now, I understand the pastor told me not to. But it's my social media and I'm going to post if I want to post. I love that. She should. It's her damn social media. Do what the hell you want to do. She's not specifically directing it at him. She's saying how she feels. Why can't she express how she feels? Then he acts clueless. Someone's at the door. Then he acts clueless. He says to her, you, He says, you are telling the world that I'm not enough for you. What can I do to make it better? She's been telling him time and time again that she's not comfortable with him not having a job. What do you mean, what can I do to make it better? Why are you acting like you're clueless? Why is he acting like he doesn't know the issue she has with him? So Noy did what the pastor told her to do. She says to Steve, how are you going to make me feel financially secure? And this circle-talking moron said, let's sit down and talk about it. I thought that's what they were doing right here, right now. Sitting down talking about it. What are you talking about? Let's sit down and talk about it. That's what you're doing. That's what you're sitting down talking. And no one knows he's blowing smoke. He thinks he's so smart. He thinks he's so clever. But Noy sees right through him. And this is why she posts on social media. Because there's no talking to him. There's no scene reason with him at all. The next scene is Steve and Noy. They sit down to discuss finance. Steve asks Noy point blank, do you need me to have a job for you to feel secure? And if instead of saying flat out yes, she says you should have some type of income. Steve said he can make money doing other things instead of having a full-time job. He says he can make more money doing other things than having a full-time job. And I don't really know what the hell he's talking about. At one point, I think he even told her to quit her job and sit around and be a lazy ass like him. He says if you need to, to take a break and take care of yourself and think, she must quit her job to do that. Think on the weekends. Think after you get off work. But Noy's just sitting there, not saying a word. She did tell him that she's from a refugee camp, and she didn't tell him this, she told him this before, that she's from a refugee camp, and she's afraid of poverty, and everybody she knows work. I think did she tell him this last episode or this episode? I can't remember, but I know she told him this. And here he is practically telling her to take time off and just sit around and think. And this is why she posts stuff on social media, because he doesn't care about what she wants or how she feels. And then they start talking about kids and diapers, and I checked out. That was it for them. Next is Michael and Jasmina. Michael meets with the pastor. Michael talks about the work he has put in the marriage. And again, I think a clip was cut because all of a sudden the pastor is talking about Michael touching Jasmina. And the pastor asked, why hasn't he tried touching her? And Michael told the pastor that Jasmina was kissing him at nights. And then he realized that she wasn't doing it because she wanted to. She was doing it because she felt obligated to do it. So he told her not to do it anymore. And he said that was a dumb thing for you to tell her not to do it anymore. So the pastor told him to compliment her and touch her. So Jasmina meets with the doctor, and they talk a little bit about, I'm hot. Yeah, Jasmina meets with the doctor, and they talk a little bit about the marriage. And she tells the doctor that she doesn't feel anything physical towards Michael because she doesn't have an emotional connection to him, which is bull. That's bull. Either that she's lying, or she don't know what she's talking about, or she's just throwing stuff out there into the universe. Because the first thing is a physical attraction. The first thing when you see someone, when you see someone of the opposite sex, if you're attracted to the opposite sex, the first thing you see is is okay. Like if you see someone, if I see a guy, the first thing I notice is I'm attracted to him. I see a guy, I'm like, oh, look at that. Ooh, yeah, he's cute. Yeah. The first thing you see when you see somebody is you're physically attracted to them. If a guy see a girl at a bar, and he's attracted to her, he's gonna go up to her and start talking to her, ask her her name, start talking to her. The first thing is the physical attraction. That's why men go up to women and talk to them and ask them to dance and ask them for this and ask them for, because they're physically attracted to them. That's the first thing, is the physical attraction. The first thing is not the emotional attraction, because if the first thing was the emotional attraction, we wouldn't approach each other. We wouldn't approach each other. The physical attraction comes first, and then the emotional attraction comes. Not the other way around. Why am I here look like this? Not the other way around. She's saying the emotional attraction comes first. She doesn't feel physically attracted to him because she's not emotionally attracted to him. No. Physical attraction comes first, and then the emotional attraction comes. So I don't know what she's talking about. Anywho, the doctor doesn't believe her either. I don't believe her when she said that. Oh, I'm not attracted to him because I'm not emotionally attracted to him. So the doctor doesn't believe her either. She told the doctor totally ignored what Jasmina said and told her to encourage a connection, to have more touching more. And Jasmina told the doctor that she feels nothing when Michael touches her. So the doctor tells Jasmina that when they're having a normal conversation, just hold hands. I guess build up to it. Just hold hands. And blah, 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 blah. They say no on decision day anyway. So they're more like beating a dead horse. So Jasmina and Michael, they're back in the apartment. And they talk about the things they discussed with the doctor and the pastor. And I'm sorry, but Michael and Jasmina, they are boring. They're boring. Jasmina tells him that when she gets emotional feelings for him, then the physical feelings will come. She's still saying that bull crap. Jasmina, please shut up. Just shut up. All right. So next is they meet up to play volleyball, except for Noi. Noi claims she has a headache, so she stayed home. So the pastor and the doctor, they're also there watching them play volleyball. In another room, they're watching them on a monitor. And couples, they don't know that the doctor and the pastor are there. So they're playing volleyball, and Katina is horrible at volleyball. I'm horrible at volleyball too, Katina, so it's okay. But at least she tried, So after volleyball, they sit down to talk, and Michael said him and Jasmina are still trying to get to know each other. It's 15 days before decision day. They don't have enough time. Anyway, Mark tells the group that he doesn't Mark's talking, and he's not saying anything positive. Even though him and Lindsay, the last time we saw them, they ended on a good note. They hugged it out. But here, he doesn't want to say anything positive about Lindsay, so he says something negative. He tells the group that Lindsay says hurtful things to him. That's what he says, because he wants the group to hate Lindsay and feel sorry for him. So he tells the group that Lindsay says negative things to me. After we just saw them hug it out and made up and decide to communicate better with each other. This is what he throws out there to the group. And this is what she's talking about. He treats her like crap. Why would you do that? So Lindsay basically says that she says hurtful things in order to protect herself. And then she starts to cry. And Jasmina said, don't cry, Lindsay. And she went and got her some tissue. And Mark is just sitting over there ignoring the crap out of her. Exactly what she was saying about him. He's inconsistent. He doesn't care anything about her. One minute he acts like he does. Next minute he acts like he doesn't. And he always acts like he doesn't give a shit about her when he's around the group. Because he wants the group to feel sorry for him and hate Lindsay. That's what he wants. And I'm glad that the experts, they can see that. They saw how standoffish she is. She's leaning over to him and he's off like this. And she's there crying. And do you think he would say, don't cry, it's okay? No. You think he would comfort his wife? No. What he does is he throws her under the bus and she sits there and cries and he ignores it. Ass. Screw the 50 times. You need to write 100 times, I will be a better husband. That's what you need to do. Anyway, Elijah 1 apologizes to the group for what happened at dinner. And he tells the group how disrespectful he was to the doctor. He was proud of how disrespectful he was to the doctor. And this is what he likes. He likes to have the floor. He likes all the attention on him. Just like what he did at dinner. He waited. Everybody was having a good time. And he waited to the very end to spring this thing on everybody. And shock everybody because he wants all the attention on him. So he's just talking crap about the doctor, talking about how he told her, I don't treat my wife like that, and what you heard is not right, and you're hearing rumors, and you're coming to me with these rumors, and it's going off. And he's telling them he's proud of how he talked to the doctor, of how he treated the doctor. I told you he does not like women. And my thing is, nobody stopped him and said, wait a minute, but, maybe you had a bad experience with her, but she helped me. Nobody said anything to defend the woman. Nobody cut him off. Nobody put him in his place. Nothing. They just let him ramble on, just going off. And they just all sat there quiet, listening to him. Even Katina was a little bit surprised. She was like this. She even looked surprised that he was saying all these things. I have no respect for this cast. No respect for them at all. For them to just sit there and allow him to do that. Just run off at the mouth. He's a total ass. So the doctor and the pastor, they come out, and Elijah one sits there with his lips sealed. Wasn't saying nothing now. And I think the only reason he didn't say anything to the woman was because the man was there. So the doctor, she addresses him. She addresses him in a classy way. In my opinion anyway. And then the pastor tells Elijah one that Katina is what he needs. I think he should have said something too to him, put him in his place. But he didn't even do it. He tells the pastor that he loves his marriage, but he's not in love. And Katina is sitting there looking so... What was that expression on her face? She looked surprised and sad at the same time. So the pastor tries to talk him into being in love with Katina. The doctor talked to Lindsay more about her anger and to Mark about his lack of affection. And the pastor told Mark to show Lindsay that he cares and told Lindsay to give Mark time. The pastor asked Jasmina if she is comfortable with Michael taking intimacy to be more physical. And she tells him that she feels nothing when Michael touches her because they don't have a connection. And Michael is just sitting there. He's just sitting there. And the doctor told her to say yet. We don't have a connection yet. But she said to say yet because they're still on this journey. So at the end, the pastor tells them all, marriage is not easy, so you need to just suck it up. That was the end. This is the end of my review. I will be back next week with another review. Thank you so much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.